Echo, and we are glad you were with us on Facebook Live. And it is Team Black that gets the first possession. The extra pass. And the first bucket of the Kia Open Scrimmage comes from Pau Gasol.
Going to win tonight. I'm just going to pull for a bunch of offense. I don't care if anybody guards anybody. That's up to Pop and those guys to worry about, right?
We kind of know this can get a little high flying at sometimes, can we not, from scrimmages in the past?
Yeah, exactly. And it's got to be fun for the players, though, because obviously they've been scrimmaging out the practice facility. But the lower bowl, just about full here, gives it a special atmosphere.
Pass gets deflected, and it will stay with Team Black. I like the point you make. We know who the starting five are, the next five. And Bill, sometimes I think when you get deeper than the five on the bench, once again becomes a place where the Spurs are able, they have that a deeper depth, a deeper bench than other teams, and that can really prove to be the difference.
Yeah, and we haven't talked in about the new guys in David Lee, Bertans, and some of these guys, Dedmon, who's very athletic. So the Spurs are not only going to have a terrific front line as Lee gets his shot blocked inside right there by Bertans, I think it was, but they're going to have depth inside coming off the bench as well.
Get used to that. Davis Bertans can really hit the three ball. What Manu was talking about during camp, he's more athletic than just when you can see from the film of him overseas as Manu goes for the steal. Foul. Three ball is good, and for Pau Gasol, 36 threes in his last 2 years. Bill, in his first 13 years, he hit 38 of them. That Chicago offense for him, and he's displaying that, and he's on the perfect team for that.
He and LaMarcus Aldridge have been encouraged by Pop to shoot more threes this year. That's something that they're looking for from their bigs.
Danny Green can always rebound, and he's looking to rebound a little bit. He'd like to score a little more efficiently. Another one? Not this time. This is Manu. Dedmon, extra pass. Underneath, and the foul. Dedmon's an interesting story, as before we get to him, Silver team is on your left. You're watching on Facebook Live. The black team on your right. 4 10-minute quarters with a running clock. We'll have a 3-minute timeout at halftime as they draw up new plays. Dedmon did not play basketball until his senior year in high school. Then ended up going to a junior college before going to USC. So despite it being just his 4th season, he's 27 years old. And his 2013 campaign was between Golden State, Philadelphia, then Orlando, along with Santa Cruz. They signed 2 10 days with Philly, signed 2 10 days with Orlando, then they signed him to a multi-year deal. Familiar with James Borrego, who was with that organization and now brought to San Antonio. 5 to shoot with the left hand.
And that was pretty good defense by Dedmon there against someone like Pau Gasol. And I know, in visiting a little bit with some of the coaches, they're really excited about his prospects, that he is, as you mentioned, his background, literally a late bloomer. Very athletic, and a guy where I think he'll be given a specific role here. James Borrego knows what he can do. Defense, rebound, and run the floor. And we've seen him do exactly that in the preseason.
We have to take full advantage of this. We're on camera once again. Bill Landon.
One more shot for our contracts, right?
Exactly right.
Before they boot us.
Glad you're with us here on Facebook Live for the Kia Open Scrimmage. And there is Kawhi Leonard. This is season number 6. And Bill, it took, 5 minutes for this crowd to get into the MVP chant as soon as he took on the floor to warm up before this one. Back door and the dunk. Pau Gasol averages nearly 4 assists for his career, and he hits Kyle Anderson there. Mills along with Leonard. Bertans, Ginobili, and Dedmon. Out to Patty for 3. Bill, once again, I'm always interested to see what Kawhi Leonard has added to his game. There, he's run off the three-point line. Strong dribble, finds the open man. This is a kid who's just not content, is he, with how good he is, he always wants to get better.
Yeah, I think the one thing that if you've just watched him at all, when people come to the games or they watch on television, that he just has an air of confidence about him that has grown each season, and that he'll be more of a leader this year, more of a take-charge guy. He'll lead in a way, I think, like a Tim Duncan, more by example, but he will speak up when he needs to. And his passing, his decision-making, I think, is something that will improve this season.
It's always going to be that long shadow of Tim Duncan, is there not? He was with the team and practicing this week. Pop said he's the coach of whatever he feels like.
I thought he might scrimmage tonight.
I had the same thought. I am not going to lie to you.
Boy, would the place gone crazy if that happened? He'd just come out for warming up. People go, wait a minute, you lied.
Exactly right. But that's what's going to rub off on the Kawhi, to see how Tim led. Because we know Tim could be vocal, but Tim always put guys in the right place on the floor. And we know Manu does that, and Tony does that as well. But it's just nice to have that rub off on, for lack of a better phrase, that next generation for this team.
Yeah, and yet you still have Manu and Tony here, who are the real vets and provide that solid. I think that's another reason that everybody's obviously excited that Manu decided to come back for another year, but you didn't want to lose two people the caliber of Tim and Manu in the same year.
Zip pass and Bertans to Dedmon. James Borrego told me yesterday, we were talking, he just loves this group and how they get along, get together, and it's really coming together during this training camp. You can just see it on simple plays like that. Green run off the line and off the dribble. And Bertans the rebound. Another one. It's going to be his first year in the NBA. Up ahead for Dedmon. Loses control. But for Davis Bertans, 23-year-old rookie who has played so much overseas, he's got that professional pedigree. It's been overseas, and we've seen it on YouTube or on highlights. Now we get to see it in front of us now.
Yeah, and I think the thing that even some of the players, as you mentioned, had talked about the improvement or his athleticism being a bit of a surprise. To me, it was a surprise because of having two ACL injuries and another knee surgery, that you just don't expect a guy that's been through that to come out and show you how athletic he is and what he's shown here so far.
Kawhi. Two-man game with Dedmon. From the corner, Bertans. DeJounte Murray with the assist. Spurs pick. Another late round find for San Antonio. Played 1 year at Washington. Crazy, crazy athletic is DeJounte Murray. Tony. Too strong. Murray had a great summer league in both Salt Lake City and in Las Vegas.
He just needs to mix a meal in there somewhere. He's
the leaner and the tip. Joel Anthony.
Boy, you mentioned Anthony. There's another guy that there's a group of about 4 or 5 that are battling for the final roster spot, and all of them are very deserving. It's going to be a difficult choice.
The steal and Bertans. Murray. Yep, he has been put on a high-calorie diet, for lack of a better phrase, in the other corner for Bertans. So as he's talking to everybody in camp, we're kind of looking, going, have you found where Whataburger is? He said, they're encouraging me to eat it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's very athletic, though, and he's potentially going to be an outstanding player. And he obviously, they've got him on the best nutrition plan, and he's going to add weight and strength to his game, and really going to be fun to watch him develop.
You know, he was asked, about the athleticism on this level. He says, I'm working on the other things also, but the athleticism is always going to be part of my game, but I'm working on my other skills. So I'm going to let the athleticism get me to a certain spot on the floor, but I still have to work on the shot and the pass and the IQ, if you will. But it's not like the athleticism is going to go anywhere or go away because he's no longer in college.
I want to remind folks, Andrew, that before I leave you here at the end of this first quarter about our first Spurs telecast will be coming up in the second game of the season in Sacramento, which is a week from Thursday. Of course, the opener, Golden State, the national guys have. And Sean Elliott, of course, back with us for more fun this year. And you're along with the crew again. Going to be great fun. And they're even roping us into more social media than I'm accustomed to. So I'll just warn people now and say I'm sorry in advance.
Well, let's see. It's going to be Cub related, right? We're definitely going to get a lot of
By the way,
Cubs
no score
tweets.
in the first inning on that game.
Fox Sports Southwest, always 60 games on Fox Sports Southwest. Ken's 5 will have 8 of them. CW 35. And a reminder, get that Fox Sports Go app. And you can actually watch the game and watch Sean watching himself on the Fox Sports Go app. Bill, thanks so much.
All right, Andrew.
Always a pleasure.
To
Talk to you next Thursday.
Great fun.
You got it. Hey, a reminder that before we get the season started in that first home game, which comes your way on Saturday, October 29th, it's the Spurs House Party, and it's presented by Cox Media Group. In the Bud Light Courtyard and at Rock and Brews. It will be Friday, October 28th at 6 p.m. The Spurs House Party is free and open to the public. It's going to feature live performance by Kanan Smith and SA Lights, plus the Spurs Silver Dancers, Team Energy, Coyote, and more. Tickets are available at Spurs.com or by listening to participating Cox Media radio stations. That's the Spurs House Party. That's how we will tip off the home portion of the Spurs 2016-2017 season. Spurs House Party on Friday, October 28th at Rock and Brews here at the AT&T Center and in the Bud Light Courtyard. We get underway at 6 p.m. It is free. It is open to the public. We want to see you at the Spurs House Party. Next in the party on Facebook Live is Paul Castro, Spanish broadcaster for the Spurs and our Univision stations, our partners, Univision Radio. Paul, good to be with you. And you excited for this season?
I'm very excited. You know, it's one of those times where that transition year from year to year where you think team's coming back, he's not coming back, everybody doesn't know what's going to happen. But at the end, he left, and I think what we're going to see this year is going to be a totally different situation that we didn't expect. I mean, it's going to be totally different.
It's so interesting, is it not, year to year? And you have seen this year to year as well with the Spurs, that the players they bring in fit. The players they bring in allow the character to be here in the silver and black. And that's happened once again in the offseason.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, at the right time. That was one of my points. I think that when Tim left, the void was filled up really quick with a bunch of guys that, you know, are talented, are young, are hungry, and just what Pop likes. Those kind of guys where you can mold. Yeah. So the transition is going to be a lot easier.
I'm just looking forward to it. I mean, I know it's going to take a little time.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, I tell people that it's not just it's just basketball in a way, but you got to remember there's a culture, there's a language, there's everything, the food even. It affects everybody. Yeah. That's why I think I'm glad that Manu State for this year, for those guys in transition, the foreigners, he'll be able to bridge that gap a lot easier than had he left and Tim gone, and those guys are looking for guidance. Yeah. You know, we have that the flexibility of Manu being the bridge.
And we knew that the starting five was going to be. Powell comes in, solidify that starting five. But Manu solidifies that bench, does he not?
Like he has for the last, 10 years?
Yeah. Unselfishly.
Right,
easily.
Right.
What did Pop say? I've cost him money, right? But Manu wants to win. It's about winning.
That's
and
right.
It always has been, right?
Well, think about it this way. I think that a lot of teams will look at the Spurs in future years and realize that, you know, what those guys gave up to be a part of this, part of championship years. Yeah, they'll have some money on the table and stuff, but, you know, it comes back tenfold, doesn't matter. But I think a lot of athletes, no matter what it is what sport you play, I think that an athlete always wants to win the big cup, the championship, the ring, whatever it is, you know. And they know that they can come here and at least have a chance at it, a good chance at it.
Danny Green carries the 3 for Team Black. We're on Facebook Live with Paul Castro. I'm Andrew Monaco. This is the Kia Open Scrimmage for the Spurs.
He sounds innocent, folks.
back here on Facebook Live as we continue with the Kia Open Scrimmage for the Silver and Black, and the Team Black with a 41-27 lead. I'm Andrew Monaco, and very pleased to introduce to all our Spurs fans, you better get used to seeing her, Kaylee Griffin is with us. Kaylee, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So we're going to just put you right to work. Every Ryan Arcidiacono story you have has to come out now.
Well, for those of you who don't know anything about me, I'm coming from the Big East. I worked there for the past 2 years, so I've seen quite a bit of Ryan. Excited for him for this opportunity to be here. Had a great summer league, and just excited for him to have this opportunity to play with the Spurs during the preseason. You know, he's a great player, hardworking, kind of fits into the Spurs system, I'd say. Villanova kind of channels a similar system, I would say, to the Spurs. So excited for him, and you know, I guess we'll see what happens.
We are excited to bring you into our Spurs broadcasting family, but also part of the Silver and Black and the entire Spurs family. I'm telling you, get ready for a collective hug by Spurs fans, because they're going to welcome you with open arms.
I can't wait. That's going to be unbelievable. I had a great 2 years with the Big East, and I'm so excited to make this transition and make San Antonio home.
We are going to see you all over the place, aren't we? Spurs.com, the Spurs app, all the social media, and it's something that we are stepping up this year, but it's something that you've been used to, have you not?
Absolutely. I've been working with the Big East Digital Network for the past 2 years. I was there when it started, so I've kind of learned the ins and outs of how digital works, and I'm excited to continue to build the brand of the Spurs and make it as best as it can be.
Something simple will make this personal, that it was probably about a week ago. I say welcome. And then you get the entire Spurs family welcoming Kaylee. It was like nothing. It was like she's one of us now, which is great.
It was incredible. I've gotten so many new followers, and I haven't even done anything yet. So it's been great just to have all these people welcoming me in. They don't even know me yet, but it's awesome.
Truth be told, I haven't done anything at all, and they're still following me. So.
Oh, come on. That's not true.
So this is very early for you, but how much are you anticipating this season?
I'm very excited. I'm a little bummed that I missed the Tim Duncan era, but I'm excited for this new step, this new launching pad for the Spurs. You know, they have some of the old familiar faces, but a lot of new guys, a lot of fresh talent, and there's so many possibilities. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
But you're coming from a place, when you talk about being in the Big East, where basketball is almost a religion for the Big East as well, is it not?
Basketball hails the top of the conference. You know, I had the opportunity to cover all different sports, every sport that the conference offers, but men's basketball is the cream of the crop, and for me to be able to now focus solely on basketball, it's a dream come true. Basketball is my #1 passion. I absolutely love it, and I'm so excited to just focus solely on it and focus on this amazing franchise.
Patty's in the corner and lets it fly. Up ahead, we need scrimmagey stuff to start happening as Manu. That was Team Argentina football style for Manu on defense. So a chance to ask you, being on the outside looking in of the Spurs, you probably heard a ton of things. The reputation of the Silver and Black is really something, is it not?
It's something that it's hard to describe. When this opportunity came about and I was offered, I was truly speechless because the organization is held so high, not only in the NBA but in all of professional sports, and to be a part of it is truly an honor, and I'm so excited to be here and to work for such an amazing organization.
Team Black continuing to hold the 43-31 lead. And Kaylee, you can follow her at Kaylee Griffin, CayleighighGriffin. Yep. Should we let everybody know just a little bit that we shot some promos before the game?
Yes, we did.
As we are rolling out more of our social media presence.
Yep.
As we mentioned, Bill Land's going to be talking about the Cubs. Sean's going to be talking about himself, right? We know that. I'm going to be somewhere probably coffee related. A pretty good chance of that. Bill Schoening's going to probably tweet about his mustache.
Here we go.
And we're not sure about Kaylee yet.
I'm still figuring it out, you know. I'm going to try to focus on the Spurs, but we'll see. You never know what's going to come out.
But we don't want that exclusively,
no,
right?
Absolutely not. You're going to see a different personality in me, too. And I'm excited to engage with the fans and get to know everyone around here. And I'm new to San Antonio, so anybody out there have any advice, any restaurants I need to go to, any spots in town that I need to check out, please let me know.
Oh.
I need a list. I need a full list.
You are going to find some great places. Some absolute. I hope you like Mexican food or Tex-Mex. Do you?
So a big pizza person.
Wait a second. Well, now that's a good thing too. But I'm trying to remember. I know who hired you.
Yes.
And I can truly say this: that Kick has never steered me wrong when it comes to food.
Okay.
Never.
That's good to know.
Hired me years ago. Used to ask me the next day, where'd you go eat? Where'd you go eat? I finally had the guts to say to him, can you tell me where to go before on that night? I was just pleased I chose the right places, but never been disappointed.
See, I need those recommendations.
Oh, you'll get them.
I don't even know I don't know what street I'm on, let alone what restaurants are nearby.
Pretty soon it's going to be Old Hat for you. You're waiting for that.
I am waiting for it. My Maps app on my phone is getting a lot of use right now.
Kaylee did say all the boxes showed up, though. That's important.
Yes, they did. Every box is here. I have all my clothes. My shoes came yesterday. That was one I was waiting on, but everything has arrived. We're getting settled in, so it's good.
Joel Anthony with that tip, and for Joel, 10 years in the league. He's 34 years old, originally undrafted out of UNLV, and invited here in the camp for the Spurs. It becomes a big week. It becomes a very big week for the Spurs. Cuts will be made. Pop said he's in no rush as Kawhi hits that baseline jumper. Not in a rush yet. He wants to get that long look, and he just, while Castro was talking about it, Bill Land was talking about it, really likes this crew and likes what they bring.
They all bring something a little bit different. I'm excited to be here on Friday to check out the last preseason games, see them in action. I haven't been in town, so I haven't been able to check anything out. So I'm excited to get a feel for all these guys on Friday and see what they all bring to this team.
Shot clock winding down. Forbes gets another chance. Yeah, we're just going to, your first game is going to be the I-10 rivalry. We just throw you right into it, preseason or not. Here we go. That's what I meant by scrimmagey things. Kawhi to DeJounte Murray. I love when it starts getting a little looser during the scrimmage.
That's what we need. We need a little more fun here.
We have kind of joked in the past, in years past, about the Spurs' boring style, and they didn't dunk well with Kawhi and with Jonathan Simmons, and now with Murray and Kyle Anderson. That's all kind of changing for us.
A little younger style. DeJounte, honestly, I feel like he was one of the steals in the draft this year, so I'm excited to see what he brings to this team. A lot of athleticism, young talent. He's really raw.
Another chance to look here on Facebook Live of the dunk by DeJounte Murray from Kawhi Leonard as Patricio Garino, the 23-year-old who played at George Washington and with Team Argentina finished 8th in the Olympics, and he averaged 6.5 points. And it was interesting to see these now Spurs through the Olympic play.
Yeah.
Like Spurs fans were getting a glimpse in Rio of players who were going to be here in San Antonio.
Absolutely. It's so fun, especially in the summer, kind of that lull period. Don't know what's going on, and then to be able to watch all these guys play throughout August was absolutely great. I was paying close attention. I didn't know if I was going to be here yet, but I was watching out for all those guys, paying attention to all their styles. I'm excited to be here and check them out now.
So that's Garino from La Provitola, the two Argentinians. He went between the legs in the game against Miami, Manu-like with that pass in the dish. 5-hole nutmeg, however you want it, if you want to use the hockey or soccer term. But by the way, I spent the last week, I have watched more Argentinian TV on YouTube. That pass goes into the corner. And the rebound to Team Silver. Up ahead and banked it in. Livio Jean-Charles, another one of the late draft picks for the Spurs that came back in 2013, the 28th pick in that draft, playing for Tony Parker's team in the French Pro A League, Asvel. And Garino again with another three. So through all the Argentinian TV, watching interviews and watching Olympics, La Provitola. Nicola La Provitola. And I'm like, okay, I have got to get this so it works.
That one's tough. There's a lot of
because they're going to be family, Nico,
Right.
Pato, right? Manu.
Right.
We just go first name.
Exactly. I think we're going to stick with that for the rest of the year. That was in Summer League. Poor Ryan, last name was butchered.
Archidiacono.
You would think, being on that national stage, right?
Going and winning the national championship, you would think, but it's okay.
Didn't work out.
It didn't work. But
No. Pau Gasol comes in for David Lee. Pau, who played previously Memphis, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Team Black, the 51-42 lead. End of this third quarter. Joel Anthony with the follow. So before this third quarter comes to a close for you again, at Kaylee Griffin is the Twitter handle. And we're going to be seeing more and more of you. Not just Spurs.com, not just the Spurs app, all the social media. We're also going to see you on some of our broadcasts as well. Look forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. Thank you,
Kaylee, welcome. Thank you so much. You bet. Just the start. Just the start. We're going to have a lot of fun. Kaylee Griffin joining us here in quarter number 3. We want you to sign up for the official Spurs fan club. It's presented by AT&T. You'll receive team news, ticket alerts, partner offers, so much more. And signing up for the fan club is free, and we make it easy. Just visit spurs.com/fan club to sign up. AT&T Center, the Kia Open Scrimmage for the Silver and Black. Team Black, Team Silver, one more quarters to go. We started with Bill Lamb, Paul Castro, Kaylee Griffin, and we finished strong. Strong fourth quarter. Here on Facebook Live, glad that you have been with us for this Kia Open Scrimmage. Team Silver with the 51-44 lead over Team Black. Friday, final preseason game for the Spurs. The Houston Rockets are here, the AT&T Center. You can catch that on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. Bill Schoening, KCOR with Paul Castro. Told you we were going to finish strong. Bing joins us.
Hello there, Andrew.
Hello, Bill. Camera time.
Ah, camera time.
Right up
wow.
there. Yeah. I always know where it is. Well, my friend, I love the scrimmages because it gets a little looser as we go on. But I love watching the skill. What I love, though, is the enthusiasm of this crowd for a, you know what I mean by I say for a scrimmage. I talked with Paul and Bill and giving Kaylee an idea of how much the Spurs fans embrace this team. And a night like tonight is an example of that.
Well, there's no question about it because you look at this crowd, they started lining up around 4:30 this afternoon. They were ready to come in here and see this team. And for a lot of these folks, this might be the first time they've ever seen this all year long. A lot of enthusiasm.
The Coyote is here. The Silver Dancers are here. 25% off at the fan shop. Some great offers as well all night long in the Kia Open Scrimmage. The final week of training camp before we do it for real as Brent Forbes hits the jumper.
Well, that's what he does.
That's what
right. He can shoot it, and that's his opportunity to make this ball club the way he can shoot the basketball.
You bring in players and you allow them to be who they are, right? That's the whole key. You don't reinvent the wheel, so to speak.
Well, chemistry is very important. It's one of the things that Pop talked about, the understanding of the system by these young guys. That's going to be one of the things that might separate somebody from the rest of the pack in terms of that 15th and final roster spot.
And this is a team that will depend, when I say depend on it, that is a player who, one, has to be professional, because always has to be ready.
Sure.
But his number is going to get called over the course of the season.
You're talking about the 15th guy on the roster?
I'm talking about, 13, 14, 15. You know, some teams talk about their bench, and it could be the next 3 off the bench. The Spurs, we talk about that second 5, but they go deeper than that.
Oh, definitely. And they also, and there's a nice block by Joel Anthony, by the way, and that's his opportunity to make the team is running the floor and playing defense.
The other way Patty. Open floor foul. That is, I believe, clear path, flagrant 1, and he'll be, so the next, he's not going to be in the next scrimmage.
You're taking it way too serious.
Hey, the Spurs home opener comes your way on October 29th. The Spurs hosting the New Orleans Pelicans, 7 p.m. and great seats still remain. Head to Spurs.com or the official Spurs app to purchase your tickets for Spurs opening night. And if you don't have the Spurs app, you're missing out. Download that. Bill Schoening is on Twitter. Bill Schoening is on Twitter. That's
kicking and dragging and screaming. They got me
Welcome
into the 21st
to the 20th century.
Yes. What century we in?
21st.
Okay, just checking.
Still a little slow. Kyle Anderson from that corner. And that is how you can follow Bill at Spurs Radio on Twitter.
Good to see Kyle with his outside shot. And there's Davis Bertans, and that's his 4th three-pointer in this ballgame, Andrew. And I really like the way this kid plays. He's not even going to turn 24 until next month.
Yeah.
Very mature. His English is great. And I think he's going to fit right in. And I think he's one of those guys that has an opportunity to get some playing time with that second unit.
And that's one thing that you have had the opportunity to tweet is your pregame interviews and some of that insights. You've been able to include the fans on that. He's off the dribble and that pass misfires as it goes out of bounds.
And as Davis gets more and more comfortable, and we're seeing it in the preseason, teams are starting to close out on him, and he's using the up fake off the dribble. He's a good passer, very intelligent player, high IQ, and I think the more and more we see the season progress, I think the more and more we're going to see Davis Bertans.
I think that goes back to your point, though, Bill, of saying he turns 24 next month. Would it be different if he were 20 and didn't have as much professional experience?
Sure. He's, of course, coming off the 2 knee injuries as well.
Right.
But he says he's feeling much better coming off those knee injuries. You know, that Nico Laprovitola, that's a guy that is on the Argentinian national team. He's been playing overseas. He got an invite to training camp, and he's really looked well. He's an opportunity guy that if he doesn't catch on with this team, maybe somebody else looks at.
Nico, 26.
Yes.
And again, that professional experience. And playing, and again, we have seen it, whether it's Tony with Team France, whether it's Manu in the golden generation with Argentina, Gasol with Spain as he tries to nail his second 3, the offensive rebound, Anthony, and Manu comes down the back. But that national team experience can also help when you're coming into the NBA.
No question about that. And have we seen that shot before from Patty? That one doesn't drop. But that step back 3 from either wing, he's got such a quick release. Gets that shot off on a regular basis.
Going into his 8th season. That's deflected. He had a great Olympics, didn't he, Patty?
Yes,
with
he
Team
did.
Australia.
He was the leading scorer in the Olympics.
He had a great London Olympics, and I know Australia wanted to medal, did not, unfortunately, as Team USA got the gold. Serbia, Spain, silver and bronze. And then Patty running the baseline. He'll fire into the corner where Kawhi lets it fly.
Go ahead.
No, I am not going to do that.
Come on.
You.
Well, why not? I was giving it to you.
No, I can't.
I put it up on. It was a lob at the net. It was an overhead smash, and you didn't do it.
No, sorry. Bobby Riggs couldn't do it. Sometimes I just show my age. Patty. For Kawhi.
There you go.
Pull up. It's your call.
But why not?
There you go.
Look at this guy. 17 points in this ball game, and he's been making 20. We're getting an update from Walter Stoops.
Yeah.
Statistician.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Doesn't he know that most of our jobs doesn't make a lot of sense?
That's exactly right.
The final preseason game, Bill, is Friday against Houston, and it's going to be a different-looking Houston Rockets team. And then we get it restarted for real on Tuesday.
Play those guys in the Bay Area.
Yep.
Here they got a new player.
Well, Spade's left.
He played college ball right up to Spade.
College ball.
There he is.
One of the more as Bertans hits his 5th 3.
Tris Labas.
Just getting a preview. See, if you aren't watching us on Facebook Live, you would not get an exclusive call of Bill Schoening's Davis Bertans 3.
highly anticipated season, is it not, Bill? Not just for the Spurs, but the entire NBA?
Hope I'm saying it a lot. Yeah, really looking forward to this. And that opener Tuesday night against the Warriors, that'll be a lot of fun.
Then Sacramento on that Thursday,
The first official game in their new building.
Yes.
The One World Center.
Yep. Their new head coach, Dave Yeager, who left Memphis.
Yep.
Taking over. That will be our first telecast on Fox Sports Southwest, and you can catch it on the Fox Sports Go app, as well as Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI, and in Spanish with Paul Castro. Kyle Anderson
can hit that mid-range jumper on a consistent basis. That is just one more element, one more layer of that second unit that will be dangerous.
Kyle in his third season, and you would think, you talk about layering a little more responsibility in that bench role for him, but just that size and that you talk about the mid-range, such a matchup problem for other defenders.
And can he be this year's Boris Diaw?
Good point.
Can he be the 6'8", 6'9" guy that can make plays? He can also run the point. He did it at UCLA, but his versatility, I think, will be a key to that second unit.
He, along with Manu, Patty, Jonathan Simmons, who burst on the speed. Provatola with the lay-in.
And you got Bertans, who's fighting for, playing time with that second unit. Of course, David Lee's going to be critical.
Boy, he was so happy with the way the season ended, David was saying during camp with Dallas. Dropped a little more weight in this offseason. Thrilled to be here in San Antonio.
He was very efficient last year with both the Celtics and especially the way he closed with the Mavericks.
Punched out of Joel Anthony's hands.
And really a very good pick and roll player, David Lee. Think about that second unit with pick and roll players like Manu Ginobili and Jonathan Simmons, who's developing his pick and roll game, and David Lee. They're going to be able to score that second unit.
They'll do it to death, right? Because in the NBA, you do it until they stop you or call timeout.
That's right.
There's a steal. Late in our Kia Open scrimmage.
Nico.
Team Black trying to add to their, or trying to get back down by 6. And then the home opener on the 29th, as we mentioned, Spurs.com and the Spurs app. Want to see you here at the AT&T Center. Place going to be buzzing, as it always is. Hello, Anthony. Big week, is it not, for training camp, this final week of training camp?
Yep, and of course, Pop said he's going to take his time making that final decision as far as that final roster spot's concerned. We might not know until Saturday after the Friday night game.
Nice left hand there by Murray.
DeJounte, he gets a little stronger and figures everything out. He's going to be really good. Nico doesn't think about anything. He just goes out there and plays.
No, the quick release, that spot up in transition. Again, people hear rookie, they automatically think young. They don't think about all the experience that these players have. Another one for Davis Bertans. 6 threes for Bertans. You packed, and are you getting packed and ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Bags are packed. Yep.
I know as I say that there have been 5 preseason games already for you, but it's
something
designed
just for me, just for the radio play-by-play guy to get back in the groove, be ready to go for the opener.
What I thought was interesting was the Spurs during last week, they had those, even though it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it was almost like an NBA schedule, but it was also a chance to bond for this team, wasn't it? To go out on the road together?
And 2 wins, Detroit and Orlando.
Yeah. This Kia Open scrimmage will come to a close. Don't call foul that late, right? Let him play. At Spurs Radio is Bill Schoening's Twitter handle. You can catch him on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI every game. Spurs game night warm-up precedes each broadcast. Look forward to it, my friend. Always fun. I know it's just a quarter. The best part about preseason sometimes, because we get so busy, I don't get a chance to listen to you. I enjoy that, and you know I'm going to be listening on Tuesday when the Spurs are in Golden State.
Thank you, Andrew. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Look forward to the season.
Bill Schoening, Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. Listen to him all season long. nobody better in the WNBA, in the NBA than Bill Schoening. He's just outstanding. And in the WNBA, if he ever wants to replace me. As Team Silver defeats Team Black in the Kia Open Scrimmage here at the AT&T Center. A wonderful night for all the Spurs fans. My thanks to Bill Land, Paul Castro, Bill Schoening, to Kaylee Griffin, Walter Stoops, my statistician, Sam Walters, who's been our engineer, Mike Kikarillo as well. We thank you for being with us here on Facebook Live. A reminder that the Spurs opening night is Saturday, October 29th. That's the home opener when the New Orleans Pelicans are here. Saturday, October 29th, the 7 p.m. tip. Great seats still remain. Make sure you head to Spurs.com or get that official Spurs app to purchase your seats for Spurs opening night, Saturday, October 29th, when the Spurs take on the New Orleans Pelicans. Thanks so much for being with us here on Facebook Live and being a part of the Kia Open Scrimmage. I'm Andrew Monaco. Thanks so much for joining us. For our entire crew, we will see you on opening night on October 29th.